three. Give me just a minute. No need to be unkind. Even I got a limit. One problem at a time. Yeah, these hills are getting high. The way I'm going, but my wheels are all in line. Yeah, got to keep on rolling. I'm a darkness reaching for daylight. I'm a spring that needs to unwind. I'm a wreck, but everything's alright. Just as long as I can medicate my mind. Medicate my mind. Everybody in a hurry, heading down their own track. Ain't gonna worry, let it roll right off of my back. I'm a stranger to this world, but I keep on growing. Life will try to put you out, yes it will, but I keep on glowing. Yes I am. I'm the darkness reaching for daylight. I'm a spring that needs to unwind. I'm a wreck, but everything's alright. Just as long as I medicate my mind. I'm the darkness reaching for daylight. I'm a spring that needs to unwind. I'm a wreck, but everything's alright. Just as long as I can medicate my mind. Medicate my mind. Oh,
Hey, morning, Scat Pack. John McGill, Kiss Off, Brian Coffee. Who else we got? I think I saw Miss Jane, Mr. William, Hillside Prepstead. Morning. Kevin Ramsey in the house. What's up, everybody? Get your coffee, get your tea, get your soda, whatever it is you need to get your day started. Little tunage. And then I got some stuff I'll be showing you here in just a little bit. Morning, Miss Angela.
When I was 14, I was falling fast for a blue-eyed girl in my homeroom class. Trying to find the courage to ask her out was like trying to get off from a water spout. What you would have said, I can't say. I never did ask, then she moved away. But I learned something from my blue-eyed girl. Sink or swim, you gotta give it a whirl. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. The longer I live, the more I believe you do have to give if you want to receive. There's a time to listen, a time to talk, and you might have to crawl even after you walk. Had sure things blown up in my face, seemed a long shot to win the race. Been knocked down by the slamming door, picked myself up and came back for more. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go.
Hey, morning, Mr. Metal. Michigan Outpost. What's up? All right, we got one more for you, and then I'll show you. Show you a little something, something. Thanks to everybody for being here, starting your day with me. Right on. Right on, Michigan. Keep your head on the road.
Freedom ain't free, that's where I stand. Burn my flag, I'll kick your ass. Life of a working man, that's just the way that I am. People like me, rednecks like us, still old school barbed wire and rust. Bible on the table, the shot glass in my hand. So when you ask me why, I'm willing to give my life. That flag right there, it ain't just stars and stripes. It's a brother lost in Vietnam. It's a World War II plane that got shot down. It's for the ones that fight, the ones that never made it home. It's the way we live, it's the air we breathe, home of the brave, land of the free. It's the blood we bleed, and we ain't backing down. So when you ask me why, I'm willing to give my life. That flag right there, it ain't just stars and stripes. I love this place called USA. You can't change my outlaw ways. Brings out my fighting side. That's why the devil knows my name. I miss John Wayne, ain't scared to bleed. Rebel in the South in me. We don't need your hand out here in this blue-collar town. So when you ask me why, I'm willing to give my life. That flag right there, it ain't just stars and stripes. It's a young kid's dad we'll never see again. It's something some people don't understand. It's for the ones that fight and the ones that never made it home. It's the way we live, it's the air we breathe, home of the brave, land of the free. It's the blood we bleed, and we ain't backing down. So when you ask me why, I'm willing to give my life. That flag right there, it ain't just stars and stripes. It's a gold star hanging on a mama's wall. All gave some, and some gave all. It's a brother lost in Vietnam. It's a World War II plane that got shot down. It's for the ones that fight and the ones that never made it home. It's the way we live, it's the air we breathe, home of the brave, land of the free. It's the blood we bleed, we ain't backing down. When you ask me why, I'm willing to give my life. That flag right there, it ain't just stars and stripes. That flag right there, it ain't just stars and stripes.
Morning, everybody. Who we had? We had TJ come sliding in. What's up, Money? Yeah, I love that song. I want to incorporate that into some intro. I've got ideas. I don't know. Got to see what's up. Yeah, I got a shave today. It's too scruffy. So y'all are just gonna have to deal with the scruffy version right now. After they wake up, then I'll make noise. And yes, for the internet trolls, I am still wearing, I put the shirt that I had on yesterday back on. So, there's people that like to go, oh my God. And it's like, yep. Because when I got off of here, I proceeded to eat me some butter and biscuits and I went and laid down. Had to get rested up for today, this afternoon. So I shared with y'all yesterday, which I guess I could get that link again. Let me. So Hold on, I'm gonna get y'all some information. Okay. So the link, this link right there. Hey, morning, Moonchild. What's up? Yeah, I know. I wait. Whenever I first started, there were comments about my green shirts, and it's like I got so many green T-shirts, they all look identical. So that link is part of that's the Committee on House Administration, and they're releasing the footage from J6. And I was going to share this. I thought I've been I don't spend a lot of time on them. They're there. I've decided that I'm going to slowly just look at little pieces every now and then. Otherwise, it's like a vacuum. It'll just pull you in. And I got more day-to-day shit that I got to worry about, just pipes to wrap, doors to level up or something. There's shit to tend to. I got effing chickens to tend to. So that's I figure I'm just sharing this. I would say, just take it in little pieces. But as I watch some of them, I find it kind of ironic because we all know it was, the bullshit. But let's see. So I was watching some of this footage here, and this chick right here in the bottom that's coming into the scene. If you watch her behavior as this goes, it's like, see, she knows. I don't think she's probably in the normal mix. She must know, and she's waiting for the trigger. Because when you watch her actions, and then I wish that they could just broadcast this on all the stations. Because here's your violent, that violent. It was as violent as 9/11. It was as violent as Pearl Harbor. And of course, I don't remember any of our soldiers or anybody, firefighters, ever kind of doing this during any of those events. But hey, we got old camel neck. So you watch this chick. So she comes up and they're going to gather. They start kind of gathering and talking. And then you're going to see her. She's going to literally spread everybody out. I don't know. I guess I could. Let's see. I'll fast forward it a little bit. Yeah. Oh, sure. Now I'll screw it up. Yeah. So more people coming in. They gather. And this seems kind of boring, but this is going to set the tone. Watch. So look at them. Watch this. Look at their scatter. Watch it. Look at this dude. Wave, wave, wave. Watch homegirl right here. Wait. No, scatter, scatter. Get to the sides. Now watch. Watch what you're fixing to see. Here comes little Mr. Officer. Look, homeboy's got captain bars, it looks like, on his shoulders. Now watch this shit. Being led in by one in the lead. Now look at them all lined up. Watch. Here comes the lead. Little Pied Piper. Here they come. And then look at what they're parading right through. And then look at the little blonde chick you saw at the beginning. You see her over there on the left? Dude, look at her stance with that baton. It's like she's ready. She knows that this was a trap. She's going she's ready for the trap to set, and she's ready to pounce. And you just watch them. Look at the other two at the door just having talk, just chilling. The one dude in the corner up there underneath the chandelier, hell, you can tell by the way he's standing. He ain't tripping. And they just parade him right on through. But yet, oh no, it was so violent, unbelievable. I'll fast forward you up a little bit. See, look, you even got some that are up here in the just chilling. Look, that one's sitting up there on the ledge. The cops are right there. You can see how much. Look, that dude's got a sidearm. He's so stressed right now that he doesn't even pay attention to two people that are on his live side. He just ain't even, because he's so paranoid. He's so afraid. He's in fear for his life right now. And look at little blonde chick over here, just a whispering. It's like, yeah, are you ready? Look at this. Yep. Uh-huh. These people are ignorant. You can tell. And hell, I don't even know if I'm still up. Yeah, I'm still up. Okay. Ain't that some crazy shit? Look, and they're just standing there talking, people walking. We'll fast forward a little bit more. Internet's a sucking. There's no telling how many people are hitting this server too, downloading all these things. I probably should just let it play. Come on, you little shithead. And see that they just paraded them through, man. They're so nervous. They're stressing. But look, homeboy's fixing to get ready. You see him? Look at him over in the corner. Watch, look. He came from up there. He took his little mask off and stuff. Yep. He's like, oh, yeah. Here he comes with his mask again. Well, there goes the mask, because now we're fixing to have to go set the narrative. Get ready. We're going to set the narrative. Look, you got people coming down the hall still. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. I mean, I'll have to show you what the library itself looks like. So when you go to that website, this is what you're going to see. This is the committee's site. Is this? I'll tuck myself down here. Actually, here, I'll just get myself off the screen. So this is what you're going to see when you go to the site. And what it is these are the listings of the videos. Okay. And there's 5 pages. And they list them as like the hall of columns on the south door. You know, the approximate time, you can see about when it is right here, the size of the file, and then you can just go through these 5 pages. So this is the J6 footage from all over. So here's the upper west terrace. That's the house wing door. Here's the Bermuda corridor. And like you can view these. I'll go full screen for y'all. I'll tuck myself in the corner, or here, let me get over on the side. So this is the J6 stuff. It got released. So see, people that tell you good shit ain't happening, man, it's just that it's slow rolling and they need more support to push for more. But you can go through these. And as you go through each page, here's the north door, the appointment desk. Here's the Senate carriage door, exterior, the west stairs. So this is all around the Capitol. So they released the footage. So people had to go, oh, ain't nothing happening. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm seeing shit that wasn't seen before, so don't tell me that the ball ain't moving forward. This is the Senate wing door, Senate carriage door. So it's basically, this is 5 pages. It's 22.9 gigs. Apparently all of them, this folder. And it's the J6 stuff. And I think that's pretty damn cool, dude. You know? You're not going to overtake me. Can y'all not count numbers or some shit? I don't know if it's even possible for you to catch up to me. Have you actually do that list again and then look at the numbers? Count those digits. The house always wins, man. The house always wins. But see, I will say that this is why I think it's important. And that's why I'm going to try to start focusing. I'm going to try to get you guys emails and, kind of help. We'll do little form things and y'all can copy them and send them. But it's encouraging these people that are standing up doing shit to keep pushing, to don't let, just because they got people outside their offices that are all supporting this Democratic bullshit. We got to get to the real, man. Got to get to the real. You can see the big light change whenever I took that window off of the big screen. Lights up the room. But I just, it's information, man. It's just information. It's all about the info. Let's see. So is cloud, it's working. Okay. Hoorah. Okay. I saw the people in the bushes putting, oh, wait, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Putting on T-Man stuff and then join the little groups and the buses of them. Yeah. Well, see, and we remember seeing those and then it went away, and they just let it try to fade off. And it's like now that that's out, more and more people, people don't need to scream at other people. I was talking to somebody yesterday and it's like, people need to learn to talk to other people and just feel them out. Because you just remember that there's people around you that hadn't even watched any of this. They're watching the CNN, the ABC, CBS, NBC. They're watching Days of Our Lives and all this realities TV. They're just in that little mode. What does that old salty cracker dude? The normies. Well, you got to learn how to talk to people. You can't just boom shit out at them because then they just figure that you're what they were told was bad. So you just got to drop little hints. Monty said, "You ever watch 21, the movie where MIT students took down yeah. Oh man, that ain't nothing. Look at what's fixing to happen with Vegas whenever they've got these new little AI Google glasses. You're gonna have the casinos are gonna be fighting the AI bots. Because if I only have one step to my porch, I say, come if you want it, but you're gonna limp back. Oh, let's see. Oh, you don't have it? Money? I thought you had it. Roger that. Well, here we go. You know what? I got this cool little thingy right here. I can go, bam, boom. That's it. There's my email. brian.rescue@gmail.com. I just, I don't know. Thought that's good information. It's that it can be seen, it can be shown, and then you can See, like, instead of going, you see, it's all a setup. It was all, don't scream at people. Just go, hey, man, did you notice that they dropped the J6 footage? But check that out. And then you can just show them the clip and going, they don't quite look like what they were talking about. And then let them kind of come to terms themselves. That's how you're going to win people over. That's why slowly people have been coming over and kind of waking up, as we put it, because reality will just, some people get a little love tap upside the head and it kind of like puts them on track. Some people, well, they need a big old boot in the ass. So you just can't be obvious about it. You got to drop them little truth bombs. Let reality kind of go ding, ding, ding. And then they go, wait a minute. That Richard Madcow dude that I watch on TV all the time said that this was like so violent and stuff, but look, they're just walking these people through. Wow, that's weird. See, that's what I'm saying. And you got to always remember, you'll never win everybody over. So there's always going to be the rerees, they're always going to be, the tards, because it's just, you can please some of the people some of the time, but you'll never please all of the people all of the time. So you can only show reality to people. Some take it, some don't. Well, thanks, Kevin. I just, that way, I don't know, man. There's so many channels out there that go, see what I'm doing. And it's like, you don't need nobody screaming in your head. You don't need nobody. I'm not going to spend days and days. It's stuff that we've known. I just want to point out on how it's come out, because then that's a positive. There you go, Scat Pack. Lead them, don't feed them. Need some coffee. Hoorah. Hell, I remember watching all that when it went down, and I went through it then. As oh my God, why can't people see this shit? Don't you see what's happening? So I got it. But then you kind of realize the machine that you're up against. And so it's like, okay, so see, we're in the legal realm. So the legal realm slows everything down. So now we've got to focus. And then you kind of watch how scattered everybody got, and man, they're worried about all kinds of crazy shit. Well, these cities and these counties and these states are passing some off the wall shit. And if your state doesn't stand up, then there'll be part of the ones that then go along with the Fed shit. By the way, I want to check on something real quick. I don't know if anybody, let's see. Tag nabbit. Poor old Nikki. I tried to call poor little Nikki to wake her up. She fell asleep on her stream. I just thought about that. Tried to call her a few times, and I don't have Jeremy's direct number. Winshaw says, I just don't care what people sees anymore. Way past that. At least she finally got laid over. It looked like I just checked on her to look, and she apparently, now she got laid over. I was feeling bad because I don't know. I see people in those shapes, and all I think of is mine. Ooh, so on. I wake up feeling rough. Morning, Dusty. I don't know if I said morning to you, and I'm sorry if I didn't. Huckleberry, I don't even know if I said morning to you. I just had a blip, so I don't know. So I'm just going to say a good morning, good day, good evening, wherever it's working for whoever is watching. I was hoping the old man might get up and be listening in. Let's see. Oh, and there was I'll have to look this information up. Apparently, up in the EU, things are going to be a little bit better for Windows. Apparently, Windows is having to change some shit to release it in Europe too. I saw a story on that one yesterday or the day before. Some of the tech stuff I follow. I was trying to look through to see. So if I do this, kind of scanning through some of these, just so y'all can. Okay, so this is hoorah. Sorry, I don't mean to miss chat. What's up, BW? Oh, cool, Moonchild. Had a surprise autumn calf yesterday. These videos are perfect time to rescue. I work with lawyers, and one is always trying and impose his opinion on me nicely, but still, I won't do it at work. So I told him I would take a break and debate him. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, man, because it's there's the footage. Where's all this? Where's all the violence that supposedly was there, which we all knew was BS, but. Morning, Benjamin. No coffee and donuts? What? Benjamin, you slacking? There he goes. Gotta have the coffee and donuts, man. No, Coffee says so. J6, the jab, and misinformation on our list to discuss. Oh, I mean, there's just sometimes there's some basic facts. It's like Orange Man bad shit. Okay, the Charlottesville and the speech and the whole phrase. It's like, but that's not what was said. Well, yeah, but that's not, you back it up and go after. And so that's why I said there's still some people it won't matter. And it's like, you can show them this, how they're being escorted. It won't matter. But hopefully that dude. What you got, TJ? My 21-year-old quit 2 days ago. I thought it was the element, but I had to call a repair guy. Connection got loose and fried the wire. It's all fixed and ready to bake. Oh, wow. It just, well, I will say this, especially with an oven. So as you run current through wire, it will weaken because the voltage will heat up and then it'll cool down and heat up and cool down. And so it'll change the properties over time. That's why sometimes on the old fittings, you'll see buildup and stuff. And that's where that comes into play. All right, let's see. I'll go ahead and let me share this screen. I'm just going to share the regular window. That way I won't. Bam. So like, let's see, we'll take a look at here. I'll change that back to the listing. Well, I don't know. I like the thumbnail. There we go. Oh man, did you put me back at the first page? No, here we go. All right. So this is the Senate wing door. Let's see what it looks like at the Senate wing door. And as far as I can tell, there's no audio, which isn't very surprising, to be honest. So you got a dude over here. They're holding the barrier up, the shields. That must be where coming through those windows. The other windows look open over here. Or you can't see my mouse. It shows it and then it didn't show it. You can see them at the door. I will say all these people over here on the right side of the window, they are stacked up on that shield. I'll give them that. But you know, see, this is what gets me though, is now, okay, so you just saw that thing with the whole pro-Palestine thing that took place in DC. This wouldn't have flown. You didn't see the behavior like that, man. Them people were, it was gnarly. Or how about this? How about the BLM Antifa riots? Just what, 6-8 months before this happened in Washington, where they had to kind of take Trump to the underground bunker and shit, and some Secret Service got jacked up and some Capitol Police got jacked up and, maybe a few millions of dollars of damage, and the city kind of looked like it was on fire. But, hey, that's just some obvious shit. But people don't need to get so wound up, All right, where are we at in this? Let's fast forward. Or we got action going on in here. What's happening? Okay, let's see what happens here. Sorry for the slow internet, man. I'm just a redneck in the woods. What's up, Sophie B? Who loves you, baby? Well, I figured my internet would catch up. Come on, man. Huckleberry. Okay, so now here's where the pushing's coming. Now they're starting to stack. And what I don't understand is why are they moving so much when you don't see the crowd right outside the door moving as much? Oh, and now they're all like, oh, okay. Oh, they're getting the door shut. because it's being so violent. They're ripping the door off right now. Don't you see them? I mean, they're out there and they're like throwing Molotov cocktails and, you know, can't you see all that? Look at man. And look at all the attacks on the door. I just can't believe it, man. Look at the hundreds of people that are barging in on the door. Oh, wait, I don't see that. Oh, okay, my bad. Oh, wow, look outside the little window over here on the right. You can actually see that the police have actually pushed them all the way back off of that. And look, they're just standing there like, oh, okay, no. Just, man, you know, this is why we got to hold them accountable. This is why we need to vote local. Let's see, where's another active one? Let's see, here's one. Let's see what this is about. And then I'm gonna play a song after this one because like I said, I can only do so much of this. I refuse to just absorb this all day for long periods of time. I just, no offense to anybody that does, do you, boo? But for me, I just, nah. Take it by little tidbits. Come on, you shitty ass little internet. Right, Scat Pack, they were so nervous. I mean, they was like, okay, you know what? We're just gonna, that might be God's way of telling me to just chill on the damn videos. Oh, hey, the guys, the Blackberry Smoke, they dropped a new song called The Hammer and the Nail. Tell you what, grab you a new cup of coffee, grab you some tea, grab you a soda, twist one, pack one, light one up, and here, let's check that song out.
Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're
up, SFP? Get you some rest, brother. Get you some rest. Pulled a 16 hours. What? Made it in, boys. Let's go. All right, Michigan. The eagle has landed. I know, Sophie, but we're gonna slowly make people aware. We're gonna slowly make people aware of what went down. We can pull this off. We really can. If we weren't capable of doing awesome things, then we wouldn't have built to the level that we're at now. So that means we're capable of it. We just got to get back to it. Know what I'm saying?
This land is hard, this land is mean. This dirt is red from the blood it's seen. Raised on the good book, hand on a gun, never backing down the American sun. I was born from the blood of a working man. Stand and fight for those who can't. I put my hand across my heart even through the hard times. I get chills up my back when I see old glory fly. If this land is hard, this land is mean. This dirt is red from the blood it's seen. Raised on the good book, hand on a gun, never backing down the American sun. I ain't afraid to sweat, I ain't afraid to bleed. Stand alone for what I believe. Rather die on my feet than live on my knees. There ain't no man that's gonna take it from me. 'Cause this land is hard, this land is mean. This dirt is red from the blood it's seen. Raised on the good book, hand on a gun, never backing down the American sun. We come from the farms and the ranches, the oil field hands, the ones who turn the wrenches. We built these bridges and roads. Yeah, the big rig drivers hauling a load. We're the mason, the cop, the coal miner, the banker, the lawyer, and the firefighter. I'm the man in the shadows who carries a gun. I'm the sheepdog, the American son. I am the American son, never backing down, I ain't never gonna run. I am the American son, never backing down, I ain't never gonna run. I am the American son, never backing down, I ain't never gonna run. I am the American son, I'm gonna take it to my grave when my day is done.
Hell yeah, America. Yeah. And looky here, Huckleberry. Let's not be slamming some fried bologna sandwiches. Because, yeah, that's one of them foods that help build America. America. That's American food right there. Fried bologna sandwich. Many lunches. Oh, dang. I was going to share this for Kiss Off. Kiss Off, are you still here, Kiss Off? Oh, Kiss Off ain't here. I had somebody I was going to show her. She must have ran away. Oh, there she goes. She says, I would love for one of us to yell at the judge and walk out. Watch where they put you in jail. Oh, no, I thought you might find this useful information. You know, you and your 70s mentality. So I figured I would. Your old DJT actually reposted this from a guy named Brian Porter from November 7th, 2020. So you and your 70s shit, this is just in 3 years how different it is. So today, this was in November 2020, gas was $1.80 to $2.10 a gallon. I bet that shit ain't that now. So there goes your little, like the 70s. Interest rates are 2.65 for a 30-year mortgage. They're not that no more. So there goes your 70 shit. Stock market closed at 27,848. They don't do that now. The GDP growth for the third quarter was 33%. It's not that now. So there goes all your 70s, how it's all the same. Just figured I'd share that with you. You know. The sad part is if I make her too mad, she just take it out on Chuck because he's handy. Puff, puff, pass. Yep, we'll see what happens now. They're talking about it. We'll see if they. I said what Hutch said. These events are the 70s. That's not what you said. Go back and play it again. It's there. You said you didn't know what the big deal was. This was just like the 70s. Wasn't no different. I tried to tell you how it was different, and you said, oh, it was the same back then. Go listen to it. It's the internet. Right, Monty Porch up. Right, Huckleberry? For a faucet was hot back then. Oh, cool. Another one, apparently. So now Bruce Springsteen said he'll leave America if Trump is elected. Son, man, if we can elect him, we might actually can clean this place up a little bit. So there's just another bonus to electing him. Oh, wow. Benny Johnson actually did what I was talking about, and he actually even used the same footage that I did. So that's got audio. So let's see how this goes. You're adding cost. I didn't know. Sorry, I know that you probably are very forgetful and shit, but Punkaroo and Disco. Check this out. So the Benny show, he actually did what I was just talking about. So here's the pro Palestine shit the other night, and that's that very same footage that I was showing you guys. Thought this was kind of funny. Put that into comparison. Ain't that funny shit?
Get back, guys.
Yeah. Who knows, man? I mean, fighting for this one,
Give it back. Oh shit! So look, I just got thrown. People getting thrown down the stairs. Yo.
Yeah, that was Benny Johnson. The Benny Show had put that up. See, it's just need more people to see that. Like, I'll get the missus, she'll take that to work. Just got to get people. Need to make people aware without screaming at them, so that then they'll tune it out. Because that's what the things. Clean up aisle 9. Clean up aisle 9. And see, and so it's like little things like that. So, anybody wants to clip that, feel free to clip that. Go on Twitter, and it's the Benny Johnson. It's the guy that does the Benny Show. That's where it come from. You can scroll on there. But you just kind of show the obvious, and you don't scream, because then they'll tune you out. Let's see, 5:30. It's probably too early for Hutch to be up. And Hillbilly, he says he's always up early, but you ain't heard from him, see, because he ain't up that early. Exactly, Moonchild. And it keeps people, think about it. Okay, so like now that they've released that, and that's why I just repeat, don't get caught up into that too much, because that's, I'm not saying it's intentional, because I don't go with that, but it's what can happen. Hey, what's up, Indy? Morning or good evening for you, since you're on the way out probably. But it's this, because like I've said it before, if you just take a 40-hour week, just like a work week, and if you actually sit and watch 15 hours of that stuff, then that's 15 hours. What happened in those days that went by, in that time that you were doing this? Something local got passed, some bill got passed, some person's getting voted in that you weren't even aware of. And because, man, that's your tax assessor, your county judge, your county DA. That in your county, those 3 seats are going to set the tone for your county. If that's how yours operates in Texas, and down here, that's how it operates. It's the county judge, then you have county commissioners as it's divided up. You have a county tax assessor. You have a county DA. Well, these are the people that create the rhythm. So put good people in. Don't, because that's what gets me, when some people are just focused on so much of the bad shit. I get it, man. It's happening. But you can sit and watch the house burn down while everybody debates who made the fucking hose fitting. Where did the hose come from? Well, who purchased that? How much was it? Was that the best deal? We could sit there and debate that shit. Meanwhile, the house is burning down. So to me, we have a chance. Information is coming out. Because one thing about it, when that got released, that's all legal footage now. So hopefully some of these lawyers are going to go back and refight for those cases. Or the ones that remember, they still had 1,000 to go if they had their way. There were still 1,000 people on the list. So hopefully that footage right there just kind of diffused all that. The releasing of that footage diffuses a lot of the narrative. But you can't get lost in it. You got to use it to your benefit. You got to use it to push forward. You got to use it to change the minds of the people that have been mind jacked over the past few years. I mean, yeah, there's always been crooked politicians. This made a major shift when he came down the escalator. This took a severe turn because it changed things. Brian says, I hear that people in Texas doesn't grant a last meal request no more. Never be on death row in Texas. Why? You ain't gonna miss it. And why do the taxpayers got to foot that bill? Whoever you harmed to get there, did they get a last meal before you did what you did? Yeah, well, there you go. That's where, sorry, my compassion for people that do other people wrong, I don't have much compassion. There you go, Huckleberry. Ding, 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 ding. Can't touch these. I just need a big chain and a moral to the story. Don't over-examine your hose. That's it. Just put it to work. Just go to work. One dude effed it up for all those death row guys. Now we just finally woke up and said, you know what? We don't need to keep wasting taxpayer money. I don't know if that's true. If it is, I got no problem with it. I think we ought to be cleaning death row off a whole lot faster than what we are. There's Hillbilly. What's up? What's up, PA? Good morning to you, sir. Right, Bug Out. There you go. Bug Outside. Me and Bug Out. We there. See, that's what I'm saying. They need to clean that shit up anyway. Don't need to be feeding them no more. Their victims didn't get fed before they got that victimized. Yeah, I saw your video, Kiss Off. That was so cool. Too bad you couldn't have got some footage with y'all out in the boat. That would have been pretty cool. Pretty cool. Brian Daniel, I saw that some guy ordered a ton of food and didn't eat it. I'll have to check into that because it was never that way before. I've been there. And actually, it's funny because the unit that's over here in this county houses the new death row. But I don't know. I'll have to check into that because you couldn't never just up and order stuff. There was like a little menu you could just pick from. It wasn't like on the movies where I just go, I want that lobster tail, and it wasn't. Unless they changed it, because then they did get to kind of kiss and ass for a while. And by the way, morning Bug Out. Morning Cigar Prepper. Oh, okay, that's what you just posted? Okay. Because the one that I saw before was the when y'all launched, which was cool. One thing about Bush, he did clean out death row. Yeah. Just need more of it. All death row sentencing should be public for a decision. Oh, yeah, guys, don't be in top chat. Go to live chat or all messages. And if you're watching on the screen on the video, make sure that the word live has a red dot next to it. If not, click on the word live so it'll fast forward you to when you're current in the conversation and current in the video, and we'll see you when you get here. See, wasn't that easy? TJ says, I just shared the J6 on my Facebook page. I wonder if they will put me on Facebook jail again. Right? Hey, I don't know. This one might have been maybe that was a no. Maybe you weren't supposed to show that. We're going to find out, I guess, once they scan this one. I get the usual copyright things, but I guess we're going to find out if I get smacked. Oh, kiss off. Must have used some kind of background song. And PA's got he's bouncing around through a different from a VPN, so coffee. I didn't know about the red dot. Yeah, because what'll happen is you'll think that the host glitched, but it'll might be a buffer glitch on you, and then you'll actually end up it'll be grayed out, and so you're actually behind the conversation. And I'm not saying it happens like all the time. It can happen to people. Anybody that has connection problems. So any kind of unless you're just on that super duper. And actually, even then, it could probably still happen. Well, hopefully you don't end up in Facebook jail, TJ, but I guess, yeah, we shall see. I've done that, been 10 minutes behind from the glitches. Ah, yeah. So now you feel the pain. Hoorah. Bugga says I got a video copyright strike on my how to become a mob boss yesterday. Was it from the music you used? Or some of the footage? Hmm. Oh, Money says, oh, it's 29 degrees now. Oh, Bugga says the footage. There you go. Wouldn't be the first time I had over 100 offenses today. TJ is a Facebook mob boss. There's the Facebook stuff always getting thrown in the slammer. No, I don't think you really read it wrong, Huckleberry. It's just that, some things you just have to keep internal. Sponsored by the Concrete Shoe Company. Of course, then Sophie probably spit out half her coffee. Mm-hmm. 22 here this morning. Blanket on. Oh, there you go, Miss Metal. Money's been put in Facebook jail countless times. Several times was 30-day stints. See, man, I don't know. I don't do all that Facebook stuff. I just know. I was going to say, maybe I should, do it. No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't. Those are the Oh, you're banned in Europe? That's because they make it up as they go along nowadays, money. That's why I said when the escalator happened, it threw them all out of whack. They didn't know what to do. Exactly, bug out. Right on, Grumpy. That's see, there's my philosophy. I do it whenever I usually get something hollering from the other room going, "Oh, you gotta see this." Oh, man, do I really? But you know, sometimes you just gotta take one for the team. So it's okay, yeah, yeah, that's cool. Oh, hey, you know what? Here, I need to send this out. Maybe we can get an update on the kids. Swing. Let's see. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, and there's like 41 or 42 states. I forgot exactly what it is. Might even be picking up more as it goes along. But and they're suing Meta and Facebook, like 41 states. So it's like, oh yeah, it's on, buddy. I'm telling you, it's picking momentum. You just can't get. You got to help push the ball along. You got to help push the ball down the field. Damn it, that's how we get there. Or you want this in some kind of wild. Everybody needs to grab a hoe and go to work. And not technically a hoe, but you know, a, a a handle with a metal piece on it. Go to work that way. Taco Bell buffet. Yes. Holy me, Johnny Kid. Roger that. Roger that. So, what's up, milkmaid? Well, I'll be. How goes the studying, ma'am? You doing all right? Well, it's cool to see you. Pretty awesome. How's the studying? Hey, you feel like you got time to come up and give everybody an update? You feel like it? If not, that's cool. I get it. Right, Grumpy? The angel of mercy. I guess I could hear it. You know what? Because I just I don't know, man. There's something about it's too quiet. So here, let's listen to this while I get this, and Grumpy's going to finish his breakfast. And so here's just a tune. Just get you a cup of coffee, get a tea, pack one, twist one.
I know a cabin down there in Tennessee where you can't find a forest on account of the trees. And old Perry Foster, he got something to say. And you can smell the pigs 'cause they've been cooking all day. I don't need no critics, I don't need no suits. I just need somebody who can tell me the truth. You can keep your opinions, you can keep on walking. I'm gonna raise my glass at a Thunderhead Hawkins. I don't need no critics, I don't need no suits. I just need somebody who can tell me the truth. You can keep your opinion, you can keep on walking. I'm gonna raise my glass at a Thunderhead Hawkins. Yeah. Miss Mary Jane, she always looks like a star, but the rock and roll banker likes to sleep in his car. You won't hear no Opry, you'll hear 6 strings, and you won't know what to do when you hear Thunderhead sing. I don't need no critics, I don't need no suits. I just need somebody who can tell me the truth. You can keep your opinions, you can keep on walking. I'm gonna raise my glass at a Thunderhead Hawkins. I don't need no critics, I don't need no suits. I just need somebody who can tell me the truth. You can keep your opinion, you can keep on walking. I'm gonna raise my glass at a Thunderhead Hawkins. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Hawkins got a family tree. He got that legendary cabin down there in Tennessee. You know he'll pluck that guitar. Everybody gather around. You stay close to the fire when the sun goes down. Oh, Brother Merle, he's always waiting in the wings. Only man up in them woods wearing all them gold rings. Oh, Mr. Hawkins, he won't do nobody wrong, but he'll tear your heart out with one sad song. I don't need no critics, I don't need no suits. I just need somebody who can tell me the truth. You can keep your opinions, you can keep on walking. I'm gonna raise my glass at a Thunderhead Hawkins. I don't need no critics, I don't need no suits. I just need somebody who can tell me the truth. You can keep your opinion, you can keep on walking. I'm gonna raise my glass at a Thunderhead Hawkins. Yeah.
Hell yeah, there we go. That's cool, Milky. Milky's got a busy day. I was trying to see if she could come up, but she's a busy lady. She's a learning stuff. She's gonna be the angel of mercy. Figure I'll just put that little reminder on the screen, that way just kind of people can see it and be like, oh yeah. Not that any of y'all don't already know that, but you never know what little person might drift on by going, what the hell is this crazy redneck talking about? Oh wow, check that out. And who knows? You know? I don't know. Hoorah. And Milky said she was 5 minutes behind. See, that's how it happens. Oh, Milky, don't you sweat it, girl. You are learning life-saving stuff, like literally life-saving stuff. We at least get to see you. We know you're doing okay. You know, so it's all good in the hood, woman. Yeah, cigar prepper, I gotta say, because I don't know. That's the one thing I always kind of look for. I look for the sparks, because then that's your sign that things might start to take a turn for the better. Oh, here we go.
What's up, man?
Update on the kids.
Oh, they're doing good. They're big is a relative term with them, right? Because they've almost doubled in size, but they're still the size of a teacup poodle,
Dang.
And they're out running around. It's fast as all get out, man. They get out there and they don't go very far away from the pen, but when they come back, man, they're like little rockets running across the
Now,
pasture.
are those the kind that do the little bounce run? Pew, 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 pew.
They can when they're excited, but usually they're just running.
Okay.
But they're getting used to being handled, so it's cool. And then we got them up. We got some people that already express an interest in them, so we'll be able to get a little bit of money out of them. So
Right
it's
on.
all good, man.
Morning, Gardner Josh.
So what's going on?
By the way, I noticed you have a little change in your background back there. So the broadsword. So it went from a seed exchange device to a pig roaster.
Yeah, this is my broadsword. I wish it were real, but it's just decorative.
Oh, that's what I was supposed to ask. Is like, man, because dude, yeah, that's two-handed shit, dude. I remember those from back in the Renaissance Festival days down here in Texas. And
I had one that I got at one point that was a Missouri two-handed sword, and it was a piece of leaf spring.
Oh, dang.
That somebody had flattened out and made into it was actually, it was extremely simple, but it was really nice. It had a leather wrapped handle and wood grips on it, and a nice oh gosh, what's the cross piece called?
The guard.
Yeah, guard. Had a really nice guard on it, and it was sharp. It held a edge really nice. I ended up selling it because, well, at the time I didn't see the need for a real two-handed sword.
Huckleberry said, "Damn, that's huge."
Yeah. Actually, that's actually called a great sword. That's the official name of it. Broadsword's not quite as long, and
son, that'd be some serious shoulder work right there too.
Yeah. Well, even with this one, it amazes me. Swinging that thing around, it takes a lot of effort, and medieval battles would last for hours, and these guys are lugging around 100 pounds of armor, and they're swinging these swords around for a couple of hours, hacking off limbs. I don't know if you've ever tried just lopping off the leg of a pig or something like that, or just using one of these to something like that to split a piece of wood. It's hard. Those dudes were bad.
Used to have the wicker sword fights at the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
Back in the old days. Of course, now I think everything's got to be fake now because you don't want to get hurt. But that was actually, oh no, you used to actually, like, the dude would be over there making the chainmail and type shit or hammering the plate. And then you would have them make suits for people. And then they would literally get up there with huge wicker swords and they'd go to town. So
my son was actually just this last week telling me he's thinking about getting into the Hemi, what is it, historic medieval weapons stuff where they use actual swords against each other.
Oh yeah, the reenacting stuff.
Yeah, and so he was actually talking about getting into that, and I was like, it sounds fun, It really does, but costs money. Fun costs money.
Yep. Around here back in the day, the Civil War was the real big enactments around here. And then just a little to the south is when the Renaissance Festival kind of took off. So you had the mix of the medieval and the Civil War. And for the while, of course, that was also that different time frame when life was a little more comfortable,
Right.
Depending on how you did your money, you could actually have those cool little side hobbies.
Have you ever delved into that Civil War reenactment, like in any detail? Talk to those guys.
I used to have a customer, and he was actually funny because he was my fastener vendor. So for fasteners and stuff and washers and stuff, he was my vendor, but he was like one of the generals or some shit in the whole reenacting thing. So like when I would go over to the shop, he literally at his warehouse, when you'd go, there were little cannons out front and shit. And people would ask about it, and then they would go, he'd be like, oh no, we'll be using those. We got to load them up this weekend.
Hold on a second. Our president told us that we can't own cannons. How did he have cannons?
I guess he didn't come to Texas.
Yeah, those guys. I grew up in Lexington, Missouri, and the Battle of Lexington took place there.
Oh yeah, you're
and
in the heart.
They've got a really nice battlefield, and every year they did a reenactment. And man, some of those guys are fanatical. I mean, they won't let reenactors step onto the field until they've checked every single piece of gear that they got to make sure it's authentic. And they don't allow any modern stuff. That's
how they were. When you walked in, I always got a kick because you're seeing all these rows, it's a warehouse shop style. So, they got all these bins and so all the racks. But then you look down the wall and there's like racks of all the different uniforms and stuff. And you'd see rack over here outside of all the different firearms and different belts hanging. But he was all about the authenticity, because that's when they would do it. I give him kudos. At the time, I was young, so I kind of down here spun more into the medieval side. That's why I got used to hanging out with the Renaissance way back when it first started. But then that's literally going out. They were camping and cooking over the chili pot shit. And, they would literally have people making stuff for the weekend, like you were bivouacked out here. So you're bivouacked for the weekend. So, going to need butter tomorrow evening for supper. So get to making some butter and be churning some butter and shit.
Right. And I like the Renaissance Fair. I think they're fun to go to, but let's be honest. As far as historical accuracy goes, I don't think they had elves and naked gypsies running around and fairies with wings. It just doesn't seem very authentic.
Right. It crossed from actual medieval into the fantasy side.
Right.
But there's something about, if I could rewind, then I would definitely be more vested in the Civil War. But, it's just being, well, I won't, there used to be a crude saying you could say, where you were young and dumb. And then there was a follow-up, and I choose not to right now just because. But if you know, you know.
Have you ever seen, there's what's it called? They do it over in Southern Europe, in Italy and Spain and stuff. But it's a competition, and they've got two teams, and these guys are dressed up with authentic armor, and they've got their town colors on, and they've got like medieval weapons, and they've been blunted so you can't kill anybody. But these guys, there's like 40, 50 guys. They get in this big arena, and there's 40, 50 on each side, and they bang the gong, and they just all go right at each other and just start beating the shit out of each other.
Just massive gladiator action.
Yeah, it's like a last man standing type of thing, but and they've got teams that compete from Ukraine and Europe. And in fact, that was really interesting. I was watching one not too long ago. It was 2017, 2018 is when it was filmed, but it was the Ukraine team against the Russian team. And this is pre what's going on now, but after the 2014 invasion of Eastern Ukraine. Yeah, and that was, you talk about brutal. But and I guess it's a thing that they've been doing this since like the 1200s. These different towns, just for giggles, they suit up in their armor and just go beat the snot out of each other.
Well, it's their culture. See, that's the one thing that I've always said with us, and we we didn't maintain our beginning culture. We just kept adapting as we evolved. And I think that's why we're getting disconnected. But these other countries, man, they got traditional ass cultural stuff. It's like, no, this is the world as we know it.
Right. Well, and that was something. So we were in antiques for a little while, and that was something that always amazed me. You know, an antique here is what, 25, 30 years old, maybe 50. You know, it's considered an antique. You know,
Yeah.
at 500 years old in Europe, that's the new shine's still on that thing, man. They've got antiques that are 1,000 years old over there. Yeah. And we were doing that back in the time when you could fill up a container and, you know, spend $4,000 or $5,000 and fill up a container and have it shipped for $600.
Well, hell, I remember back growing up, you would actually hear about people over here shipping in, like they would buy. Matter of fact, I think there's a place over here in Texas somewhere. I'll have to look that up because something tells me in my youth there was a memory of this. Somebody bought a flipping castle and literally had it dismantled and moved over here and then reassembled over here in just like it was.
Oh,
And I'll have to look that up. I remember that story.
That's living like a boss, man. You know,
That's when you're just like, you know, I really dig that. I want that so bad. So just take that down and I want to put it right over here.
You know what that's called? That's called having FU money.
Right.
I want a castle, so I'm going to buy one.
I want really one of those. I want one of those castles out there on that little island, you know, that's a few hundred yards off the coast. That now erosion has created like a 300-400 yard gap. And it's like, yeah, put me right out there.
We've got one in it's not a castle, it's a house. But down at Lake of the Ozarks. In fact, Rabid Coyote, if he pops in there, probably knows the house I'm talking about. This house literally sits on an island, and it's a good 150 yards out in the middle of the lake. And there's the only way you get to it's by boat.
Hell yeah. All right, Milkmaid, make it a great day.
Go be great, Milkmaid.
And be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. What's up, Hutch?
I'm
Morning.
so proud of her.
Oh, he said Concrete Castle in Arkansas is badass.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've seen some pretty cool little dome deals that they've done underground. Actually, it wasn't really underground. They made it underground afterwards. And they picked the slope, you know, and then they just started building it. And then when they were all done with the domes and concreted them up and everything, and then they just kind of like backfilled dirt over. And so then you just ended up with like the little hobbit hole kind of entrance. And it's kind of like, you know, I could dig that. I could do that just there. Just what better way to say just leave me alone than to just shut the door and go underground?
Yeah, the only problem with that, and I just know this from looking at Earth Homes, and then we had my company I worked for had storage facilities in the caves in Kansas City, and the only problem that I always see encountering with that is the moisture. You've always got a moisture problem at some point.
Well, they say you drop, what is it, like a 10 degrees?
Yeah.
From the minute you go down into that, it'll be automatically 10 degrees cooler.
Yeah. Well, and the hospital I worked for kept all their back before the electronic health record stuff. The hospital I worked for had to keep all their records for like 10 years. So they had a storage space in the caves in Kansas City. If you come to Kansas City, the northeast corner of Kansas City is honeycombed with caves where they had mined salt and all kinds of other stuff. And when I say honeycombed, I mean miles and miles of these industrial caves. And they've turned them into storage facilities, you know, because you can climate control them, and you don't run the risk of losing stuff. And then there's probably the coolest one is they've got a paintball.
What's up, Canadian?
They got a paintball field underneath there.
Oh shit! Well, damn, what was that? See? Can't remember if that was like Finland or it was some country, and somebody discovered that they literally have a bunker in the side of a mountain, and it was back from World War II. I think it was II, and they were planning on what they could. Well, okay, what would they do if the Germans did come? You know, and so they literally built this whole area underneath in this mountain that could hold the whole town. The whole
Yeah.
town could evacuate into it. Can't remember that
Well,
story, but
Switzerland's got caves like that they build. As
well, that's
part
because
of-
they got everybody's money.
yeah, they've got their self-defense program. There's one
Where's the seed vault at?
in Norway.
You know what I'm talking about? That tall standing seed vault that's on the side of that ice mountain damn near.
Yeah, it's up in Norway, I think.
It's Norway.
Yeah. There's a cave in Poland that was a salt mine, and the guys worked down there so much that they'd have to work on Sunday, so they literally dug a cathedral out in this salt mine. If you go look it up, it's really cool because they carved all the columns out of solid stone, and that all the iconography on the wall is made out of stone. It is really cool looking. Oh man,
Where's it at?
it's in Poland if I remember correctly. Here, let me see if I can find it too. Let's see. It's Polish salt. Yeah, the what? WIEL.
Yeah, I'm sure say I don't even know how you'd say that word, but it's like,
way too many consonants in that name.
I'm just gonna I'll do.
And they're put together in the wrong order.
Yeah, hell, I'd probably be better off. I'll just go to the images. I was gonna go to their site, but then it's like, okay, well, you're explaining too much. We just want to show some shit.
Yeah.
So these are the pictures.
Isn't that crazy?
Check this one out. Oh, didn't mean to do it that big, but let me go back to that because it opened another window for me there. Nope.
You know what blows my mind about this rescue is look at how beautiful and artistic that is, and contrast that with our ability to wreak destruction on each other.
Yeah, we'll just destroy it. Well, but see, actually, I guess now that you bring that up, that kind of fits because people are fascinated as we discover things like this, and then they're like, oh, how'd they do that? People have really mentally become disconnected with the power that people had when they weren't distracted with things and actually focused on this task. And they literally, 12, 14, 16 hours, tap, 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 chiseled away. And this was the day, and this was okay. This is people walked by and brought you something to drink because that was your little job. And that's what you did. It was just, and you took pride in making this shit. Look at this one. Look at that. Look at the carvings in the wall.
Yeah. There's a series of books called the Pillars of Earth. And it's a fictional story, but it's based historically. And it's about a stonemason in England. And it starts whenever the church is starting to build these cathedrals. But this, it starts out with them just laying the base for a simple town church. And it goes over several hundred years, and it follows this guy's bloodline. And, those cathedrals in Europe used to take 200-300 years to build, and they'd have entire generations of people working on them.
Right.
And now we're throwing up buildings in a couple of months.
Well, it's like people over here literally used to go out with the axe, chop down the tree, use the mule and drag it over here, take a sharpened up husk remover and shave bark off of, build the house, literally take the hang crane drill and drill the hole, take the damn shaver and shave the actual pin that you're fixing to drive in. You had to it's the whole concept. And I guess I do get a kick out because I've been picked at my whole life because my most favorite thing around here, people have always made fun of me, is it's a damn doll. But the trick with the doll, and I've always been impressed ever since I was a little kid, it was my grandparents, is this doll is from, is it 1906? I think it was raffled off in a church in 1906. Actually, I could pull the pictures up and look, make sure, because it's got writing on the bottom of it. But it was a doll from France that was then put into a keg bottom and have a glass dome on it and everything. And it's an automated doll that you wind up. Well, when you even look at back then, because see, I'm connecting, this is 1906. This is 1904. They literally took what was an old flathead looking screwdriver, and they put it onto the key that used to wind that up. So when they mounted the doll into this half quarter keg type bottom, they literally then made the custom key. But you just think of all the mechanics in that was all hand done. This shit wasn't pressed out in a mill. So those gears, it's kind of like a Swiss watch. You really got to look at a Swiss watch and respect the shit out of that. Nowadays, fine, I get it. You're CNC'd, you're lasered up, you're printing shit out and all that. But you look at the date on that shit from the 1900s, 1800s, and going on back. This was hand done. I mean, somebody sat there and that little 42 spoke gear, somebody sat there with their little quadruple fucking zoom in lens going.
Yep.
And it's the drive, it's the desire. That's why when people go, how did they do the pyramids? I'm like, dude, really? Do you not look at the labor force back then and shit and the animals? I could perfectly see them stretching up fucking 50 fucking camels all in a harness and then lining up about 100, 200 fucking people going, pull. And then them big old fucking hemp ropes tipping that fucking stone up over and flipping it over and sliding up on rolling logs.
You know
shit
what's crazy?
Would do with a vehicle.
What's crazy about your story, Rescue, is at the same time, at about the same time that doll was being made, my grandfather was living in an earthen sod hut in western Nebraska. He was growing up. He was raised. He was born in Oklahoma, but they moved to western Nebraska, and they were living in a sod hut. In fact, when I was a kid, we used to be able to drive out there on the prairie and see the hut that Grandpa grew up in.
Hell yeah.
You know, how crazy is that?
Well, see, and it's like, because my grandparents, this was over out of Sour Lake. So it was back then, that was even, I don't even know if you'd call it rural back then. And it was literally, people would come with horses and shit and wagons, and you would literally go to church. And that was the big event. And I never was allowed to mess with it when I was a little kid. I would just stand there, and then I would get my mom to wind it up, and I would watch. And the story, because the doll moves, the hand waves a fan. It turns its head. It's got opera glasses. Because the story is she's coming into an opera house, and she's coming in. She fans herself. It's hot, and then she looks for her escort, and she thinks she sees him, so she puts the glasses up and leans forward like that, and she fans herself.
That's cool.
You know, and people, dude, my whole life they've made fun of going, really, a doll? And I'm going, dude, do you not see your brain? Got to connect to, this is like in the 1900s, dude. This is like before all this industrial, let's all be fancy with shit. This is hand done stuff. And you kind of just, I don't know, you got to respect that putting in the work. And I guess maybe that's where I got it from, because I'm all about putting in the work. You can learn and do anything you put your mind to.
You think that as a culture we've become disconnected from that thanks to technology?
Oh yeah, dude, we plateaued. We fluffed ourselves up. We built the Lazy Boy and the Serta mattresses, and then we commenced to laying on them to the part to where we now have kids that's the life that they know is laying on the Serta mattress. And they're like, wait a minute, what? You actually, people made this? No. I mean, it's just a total disconnect with the work that can be put in. It's, the infrastructure.
I have two computers going here. I am glitching out something fierce on the regular one. I think we got a storm rolling in or something. I don't know.
Well, let's see if I turn my resolution down to 480, if that'll help you out a little bit.
Morning, Lady Smith.
What's up, Lady Smith?
Yeah, Canadian says dumbing down a society is on purpose.
Well, see, I don't know. that's where I've decided I don't go that far. I can see in a corporate level where you definitely just want your workforce. You don't want management doesn't want the fucking floor labor coming up to the upper management floors griping about stuff, and that's why they put little buffer zones. Well, for us, it's the same. It's like cattle. You know, you want your cattle happy. You don't want them getting unriled up. They'll start pushing against the fence.
Mhm.
So every now and then you need to throw some grays in there and some, grain, and you get them, oh, okay, there's some sweet snack on, and they're just distracted. Well, we do that with technology, because it's like, when you think about it, it's like all the blame we put on these devices. It's a choice that we all make when we do it. We don't have to do it. We don't have to go get the new this. We don't have to go get the new that. We could choose to turn the thermostat up and adjust to 76 degrees. We don't have to have it at 70. We don't, there's so much comfort stuff that when you kind of zoom out of things, going, what do you actually need to survive? What is survival? What is life? Okay, well, I would think, and for most people, or at least with me, it's okay. You want to be with the people that you care about, and you don't want anybody to be hungry. You want them to be warm when it's cold outside, and you want them to be cool when it's hot outside. So it's real basic shit. So do you got to chase the newest pair of shoes? Do you have to chase the newest model car? Do you have to chase the newest fishing rod? Do you have to chase all the stuff all the little carrots that are being dangled? You don't have to bite them. You can pick and choose.
That's funny. It's funny. I've got a short queued up that's going to go up in a couple of weeks about comfort versus freedom. It's talking exactly about what you're talking about. Yeah.
And dude, a good representation. Me and my mom used to talk about this for years, because and everybody knows I haven't been bashful about it at all. I mean, I've been to prison twice, and it was a life-changing thing, and it changed my path. I literally have tried to do the right thing, joined the military, got out because I had a bad attitude, paid the judicial price twice before it finally woke me up and said, okay, this is not working. Why did I end up here again so fast? Oh, I think I might have something to do with this. So it was a wake-up call. And then I started the transformation, and I've shared this. I'm just going to skim it real quick. But the birth of my son, when that woman in there said, I'm pregnant, my brain automatically went, whoop, okay, ain't got time for your shit no more, homie. It's time to man up. And it was for the first 9 months, I'm watching this thing, and I'm excited, but it's like I'm also terrified to death, because this is fixing to become a living human being that I'm fixing to have to tend to. There ain't no, but see, this was my mentality. Not everybody's is that way, but for me, that was a life-changing thing. And then when they literally like, here's your son, and it was kind of like that moment, and it was just like, oh my God, dude, I'm literally holding my son in one hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, it's a mini me. It just, a lot of things just kind of fell in. It was like a domino thing that just kind of triggered. And I look back over my life now, and I see where I was at, and then I'm kind of zooming out, and I start to see just society, and it's my kids suffer part of the same culture that I'm talking about. But we used to talk about prison, because you take people's freedoms away, and we say freedoms, but I'm going to rephrase this word. You take people's options away, and they become very inventive. They become very imaginable. They start to think outside the box. They invent ways to do things because they have an idea, and they'll figure it out with a fucking toothpick, with strands off of a fan motor off of something, with a little piece of metal that they were able to get off of the shop floor. But they can invent things, and it's because they think. And so if you want to know, that's what I mean by all the carrots that are dangling. And people make choices because you literally take those choices away, and you say, okay, now, boom, this is life, homie. This isn't going to change. And see, and like, there's something about when that door shuts, that there's no alternative. This is the world. So this is it. Make it or break it, homie. This is the way it's going to work. So you start to think. Now, not everybody does, and there's victims in there, and bad shit happens to people, and it's not always to bad people that bad shit happens to, but it happens to weak people, because it's a very violent world. But when you zoom out, dude, here in Texas, and I don't know how it is for most other prisons, but in Texas, we have a craft shop. And one day I might even get her and say, why don't we go over to Huntsville? Let's go over to the craft shop out of Huntsville. And I'm just going to video and just show. dude, the shit that's produced out of that craft shop. I'm handmade saddles, handmade lamps, dining room table. I got bathroom cabinets in there that were made in a prison unit. My mom slept on a California king size mattress that was made at that prison with real live hand picked cotton. I know because I picked the shit. it's it's so when you just, I don't know. And well, I'm sorry I babbled so much, but it's just when you look at that, and then you look at people out here. There's so many options out here, and there's so many, and then you have the peer pressure, and then now with this digital platform shit, it's like little vacuum spots. It just pulls people in. Oh, I wonder what he said next.
Most of the guys that I associated with that went down that path, I'm going to call them a higher caliber of criminal. Okay, let's just put it that way. They weren't like meth heads and stuff, right? Almost every single one of them, if they put half as much energy into being productive as they did into being, delinquents, they would have been masters of industry. They would have been owning their own companies, and they would have been making all kinds of money. But instead, they decided they wanted to circumvent the system. And I'm not condemning them for it. I'm just saying, it's funny how industrious they were, but they could never turn it into something worthwhile, something that benefited not only them but everybody else.
Well, it got spun into the word hustle. So see, it kind of got a different image behind it, because then it was called hustling. You got your hustle on. You're just hustling. You're just trying to make it, and it was like the excuses for choosing the bad way of doing it. And yeah, I've actually cracked up about that. All the effort that gets put in to do something illegal. And it's like, you do understand that you could have made way more money with benefits and put in a whole lot less work.
Yeah. And you were talking about your son, and when Angela and I met, I was in the Marine Corps, and when we got married, I flat out told her, I said, you got to understand something. I am a U.S. Marine, and the Marine Corps, when it calls, it will come first. And our family will be secondary, because I am a Marine. And at that point in time, I had planned on spending 20 years in. I was going to make a career out of it. I had already reenlisted once, and was managing my career, making it so I could move up the ladder and stuff. But I looking back on it, I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back on it when my son was born, I think deep down inside, I knew that my days as a Marine were numbered, and whenever circumstances happened at the end of my second enlistment, they were drawing down the Marine Corps, and deployment times are going to go up from 40% of the time to 60% of the time. I was like, there's just one more reason to not stay in the Marine Corps.
I did that offshore. I told her when she was pregnant, I'm going, well, then I'm going to find something inland, because I ain't fixing to be out here. I mean, my kid will be 20 years old, and I will have been around them for like 10 years of their life. And it's like,
right. Well, and, being in the military, these kids grow up. My wife's dad was a career Navy guy, and she did not see him very much when she was growing up. And it really, for the longest time, they've got a fantastic relationship now, but for the longest time, when I met her, their relationship was horrible.
I wish we paid more attention to the families of the service members too. But they've destroyed the plain old good old fashioned American nuclear family. So yeah.
Well, because
you think that military families put in so much, dude. Because it's the family that sacrifices too. That person signed up, but it's the rest of them that are paying a price too.
Hey, coffee first. Take it easy.
Hey, coffee. Make it a good day.
I can tell you this. I can tell you this with 100% certainty, that at least as far as the U.S. Army is concerned, their family programs are way better than anything we had when I was in the Marine Corps. So they do, as an organization, as a result of the global war on terror in Afghanistan and Iraq, they still got a long way to go to make it really good. But they do take care of families a lot better, and they do take care of the wounded. you know, the guys that are disabled because of it and in the hospital. They do a much better job than they used to do 30 years ago. Hell, even 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. If you want a really good book, to read, it's They Died for Each Other. And it's the story of the U.S. Army battalion that suffered. It was a battalion or brigade? Anyway, no, battalion that suffered the highest casualty rate during all of Iraqi freedom and afterwards, you know, during the surge and everything. And it's more the story of the families that were left in Germany and realized that they didn't have a support structure, and how the wives and the stay behind guys, the guys in the rear party, how they came together and started, since the Army wasn't providing a solution for the families and the wounded. You know, because at that point in time, they were literally sending these guys back to Germany and putting them in rehab, and that was it. Nothing, no support whatsoever. And they did such a good job that the Army took this program that the unit put together and rolled it out Army wide. It's a fantastic read. It's a great book, and it's They Died for Each Other. They fought for each other. I'm sorry.
They fought for each other.
But it's one of those two. And it's one of those obscure books. I think it should be reading for everybody. Let me see.
Like Kelly Kennedy.
Did you find it? Yeah, if I remember correctly, she was one of the wives is actually the one that wrote the.
It's on Amazon for basically $21 as a paperback.
You know what? Everybody go to the library. Go get your library card and go check it out from the library. But yeah, it's just
44 used hardcovers for $1.09.
There you go.
Oh hell, wait! You can get 35 used ones for 85 cents paperbacks.
Half price books, man. There's another. If you talk about a good resource, big advocate of using the library, but half price books, man. You can find all kinds of good deals. I know you'll remember these. Remember these Time Life books?
Oh yeah.
Remember those?
Oh, there you go, Lady Smith. Lady Smith says it has been 12 years since we lost Josh. Not one day, if importance goes by, that I do not hear from surviving unit members and comrades.
Excellent. No.
Oh, here we go. Goodfellow Air Force Base Training Base has a great support system for military families in San Angelo.
Yeah. And isn't San Angelo? Don't they have a Goodfellows where that the big or one of the big hospitals is? I know they've got one of the major Army hospital or military hospitals down there, someplace in that area.
Oh yeah.
But I found the entire series. I've got the entire series of those Time Life books up here, and I found them for $1 a piece. You know.
Oh hell yeah.
Even back in the day, they were like $15 for each book. You know.
Morning, Teresa. I actually think there's still boxes of National Geographic in the attic. There was for the longest time so used to have down the hallway, there were shelves, and it was actually funny because it was all the National Geographics from like 1963.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1963 all the way up to I think it was 2005 or something when she stopped getting them. My mom just had it was just one of those things. It like became part of a way of life. So there was always the National Geographic subscription coming in.
National Geographic and Reader's Digest.
Yep.
Great for sitting on the crapper. It was always a copy on the back of the toilet.
You'd have the what's the science one? Damn, I
Popular
went
Mechanics.
Popular Mechanics. There we go.
Yep.
I don't know how much little custom weird painting shit I learned out of some Popular Mechanics or Hot Rod magazine. Be like, what? Tape it off like that and just spray it. Okay, yeah.
That was our Google University, man.
That's it.
That's how we learned to do stuff. Is we got Popular Mechanics and I still remember my mom. My mom used to get Mother Earth News when I was a kid.
Kerrville. I think that's Buggy I was answering where you said about the medical. She said Kerrville, I think is what she's
Kerrville,
talking.
okay. Yeah, SAMMC. Yeah. I was in the Marine Corps, so ours was always Bethesda. Either Bethesda or oh my gosh, the big one in San Diego. That shows you how far removed I am. I can't even remember the name of the hospital.
Oh yeah. I just chalk mine up to a lot of dream damage.
Lots of head trauma and alcohol between then and now. But yeah, my mom used to get Mother Earth News when it came as a mimeographed 4 or 5 sheet double-sided paper, number 11 paper, stapled up in the upper left-hand corner. That was how Mother Earth News came.
What was that one? There was a kid thing. It wasn't Good Times. Was it Good Times? It was for little kids. And then you started seeing them because then they even put them in waiting rooms too.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like Good Times or something like that, or Good Reads, or
mine was Boy's Life.
Yes. That, and down here I was all about the Texas Horseman. That was the local one down here.
Lady Smith says Highlights.
That's
Highlights is the name of it. And I was looking at the highlights at the chiropractors the other day. They had one sitting there, and dude, it's not nearly as what's the word I'm looking for? Meaty. It's not nearly. It's not like it was when my kids were kids.
Oh no, dude, this is so. That's the one thing with my granddaughter. I'm just like, holy shit, man. How do you? Because see there, and here's that outside pull, because like around here we just have the old classic cartoons, and so we just try to pump the old classic cartoons, or like some of the little ABCs and the shapes, colors, just the older stuff. Well, see, the problem is that when now she started school, well, she hears these other shows and then she wants to watch them. Well, then you slow it. And that's the one thing that worries me, is because at what point do you become the bad guy? Because now you won't let them watch what their friends at school get to watch.
Right.
What's up, Elusive? Hey, I got a big favor, sir. Do you think you can entertain the chat for a couple minutes? I need to visit the latrine.
Sure.
Roger that, sir. Thank you, bud.
No problem. Yeah. So, Lady Smith, you were talking about, you said woke lights. There's a article in Radio Times. I don't give me a one in chat if you are a fan of Doctor Who. And don't feel bad if you are, because it's a classic show, right? Anyway, they've got a character on there called Davros, and I know this because I was reading about it today. So they did a thing on British TV where they did like a little 5-minute segment with Doctor Who characters for some charity raising thing, and Davros showed up, and in the classic Doctor Who, he was all scarred up and he was in a wheelchair and he was just evil. He showed up, he's not in a wheelchair, he's not scarred up, and he's just mildly bad. He's not evil. And they did an interview with one of the showrunners, and Navy vet, I know nothing about Daleks. Tell me you're a Doctor Who fan without telling me you're a Doctor Who fan. But so he shows up and he's not the same character, and everybody just assumed it was because, you know, they talk about time travel and all this stuff in Doctor Who. So they're like, okay, so it was before he got hurt. No, that is not the reason why he showed up not scarred and not in a wheelchair and not evil. He showed up that way because the Doctor Who people decided that it was bad optics to have number one, to have a crippled guy in a wheelchair being evil, and it made bad stereotypes. So they rewrote a classic, and I don't, if you're not a sci-fi fan, this may not mean much to you, but I am. They rewrote a classic sci-fi character because they did not want to hurt somebody's feelings, and that just, Trump said it. Trump said it, and I'm going to repeat it, and I apologize. I'm going to curse on your stream, but Trump said it. He said everything that goes woke turns to shit, and they have managed to turn a classic sci-fi character into a woke character of what it used to be. I was telling them how they screwed up one of the Doctor Who villains because they didn't want to upset people.
Oh, dude, they're destroying everything. Hell, I would just happen to see a little thing yesterday evening, I think, and apparently the Green Lantern took a dive because they did the little gay sex thing or some in part of it or something. So now the Green Hornet took a dive because people in the comics ain't into all that shit, dude. Just go back to comics. It's all about the fun of the comics.
Well, and the thing about that is, and I think it's great that it happened, seriously, because, you know, they made Superman bisexual. This was 4 or 5 years ago, and it did not sell. And they blamed it on the right wing and the Christians and the hate. You hate.
Never mind, he's an alien from a whole nother planet and some shit.
Yeah, they blamed it on hate. So they doubled down and they got the LGBTQ plus AA XYZ community to back them, and they said, well, we just got to do it right. We just didn't do it right last time. And so they made the change to the Green Lantern. They made him queerer than a $3 bill, and it did not sell. In fact, there's some of the articles I was reading about that. It may have completely destroyed that entire Green Lantern brand. It's so bad. That's how bad it is.
It's bad.
And they can't blame it. They can't blame it on the Christians and the Republicans because it's so bad that even the freaking alphabet community won't buy the thing.
Well, and there is some little talk where some of them are even starting to kind of realize, because with the kids, and it's like, yeah, man, you know what? You boo behind, but your house is your biz, but the kids, and so now it's even changing some. Yeah. Dude, some of the shows, because me and her kind of watch some of these just to see what they're, and you can see the innuendo, and sure enough, it sounds innocent enough, you know, in a way. But then you kind of look at the overall picture and you go, no, I can definitely see the innuendos and the lead ins, because now you're going to having them questioning things that they shouldn't be questioning.
You know, and I think as far as our culture goes, I think that's probably the saddest thing about our culture the last 5 or 6 years is the purposeful destruction of innocence. You know, my granddaughter is going to be exposed to shit that she should not be exposed to, and my son and daughter-in-law are warriors on the front of keeping their kids safe and not exposed to that stuff. But it's just they're gonna expose my grandchildren to that. You know.
Yeah, that's what bothers me with her. Me and my daughter, I try to talk to my daughter as much as possible. I kind of got to watch. I got to choose my words carefully. Otherwise, I piss her off and then I don't see my granddaughter. But
yeah, I get it, man.
That's what we try to talk, because it's like, man, I realize how easy it is, because that's the idea. It's been painted out to be like, you know, no, just do this. And man, that system is jacked, and they're like teaching things that don't need to be taught. And not to mention, you got to pay attention to her classmates. It might, even if it's like from the school, it's what's the interactions. And as she gets older, it's going to, it'll get worse. That's one reason why I don't know. We'll see what happens come November. Because that'll really.
I'm developing a series of shorts that I'm calling questions that should be asked. And one of the first questions I'm going to do a short on is, it's the question isn't why children need to go to drag queen story hour. It's why transgender men need an audience with children. And these are the type of questions that we need to ask.
And I will say, I pointed out that it's just like when you see these little clips of those shows and stuff, and you get the Blaze or Crowder, and everybody's throwing the little clips up. And I've said it numerous times. To hell with that freak thing that's right there. You're expecting that. It's a flipping drag show, so don't pay attention to that. You need to look around the backside of that and look at the faces of the people that are taking their kids to these things.
Mm-hmm.
This is your doctor's receptionist. This is the banker lady that you talk to. This is, the little, maybe that's their cashier at your grocery store. Who knows? It just, that's what I told her, the missus, is some of those I sit and I look at that and I go, holy crap, man, because you just look at those people and then think of your day-to-day interactions. If you kind of go and do something, you go, yeah. So it could be that it's the mindset, dude. And that's the scary part, because then it's not the old creepy guy in the white van with the candy for you, kid. It's not that. It's going to be that nice little lady who is like, oh, well, here, I've been bringing you this. Oh, I'll watch her for you. Well, okay, wait a minute. What happens? As a matter of fact, my grandmother had an incident.
It's the librarian. It's the teacher. It's whatever. And people can make fun of me because I believe this, but there is a segment of our culture that is literally sacrificing their children on the altar of Baal. And it's so bad. It's so bad that in New York City, I don't know if you remember this. 3 or 4 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, they literally were gonna erect a replica of a gate or a pillar or something that was built back in Mesopotamia in the worship of Baal. And if anybody out there doesn't know who Baal is one of the facets of the devil, and child sacrifice was the big thing. And that was how he was worshipped, is through child sacrifice. And these people, it started out, they were doing it metaphorically, but now they're literally these parents that have their kids mutilated and have their souls destroyed. They're literally doing it on the altar of Baal now.
This might actually piss some people off, but oh well. It's not my first rodeo.
Yeah.
See, I see the connection between that, and that is scary. And the reason why it's scary to me, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to probably sound insultive, and I don't really mean it to be that way, but it is just, that is no different than the flat earth shit and all the other stuff. It's if your brain is so weak that it can be molded and shaped, what happens to those radical ideas? Because, in the 40s, I think is when the flat earth thing first kind of came out, or it might be a little bit earlier, but it got disproved kind of out the gate, but it kind of died off. And then here lately with the digital age, it picked up momentum. And I was just listening to a story about that actually the other day, is why I bring that up. But when you think about, okay, what about that stuff? Because see, yeah, that used to just be, that was just kind of like the little cultist shit that was over here off of the little spin. But then it kind of dies off. Well, now where are we at in this age? Oh, or this is actually practicing this kind of stuff. This now is getting some little mind jack stuff. No, this will really work. And so they really will participate in this evil ass shit. So it's not just the innocent side of crazy thinking stuff. It's the fact that the majority of people are so mind jacked that this becomes a potential reality. And that's scary shit.
There's a saying that goes, if I can get you to believe in absurdities, I can get you to commit atrocities. And
Oh, there you go.
and I'm gonna say it. They are laying the groundwork for atrocities. Mark my words. Mark my words. If things keep going on the trajectory they're going, there will be Stalinist pogroms in the United States against Christians and conservatives. You know, you've already got people like Hillary Clinton saying that we need to be locked up into re-education camps. You know, the same people that are out there telling us that we don't need guns are the ones that were suggesting that our children should be taken away from us and put into facilities if we won't give them the poke. These are the same people.
Well, that's
You
the
know?
one thing, that Second Amendment, which are granted our whole Constitution, Bill of Rights, and all that separates us from other people. But as far as flipping of the power and the control swing type thing, the only thing that keeps it in check over here is that Second Amendment. Otherwise, it'd be happening just like you see it happening in other places. They would just come in with force. That's the one thing that keeps them in check, is because you don't know how to deal with that. You're talking a couple 100 million people that have firearms, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, this might not go as easy as it did back in the day before we had all these things. So they have to make this with it.
Spags and Fulton and I were talking the other day about the proposed legislation that Hiawatha put in, that the ammo, having to go through a federal background check for the federal ammo, and then the one that Spartacus put in about a national federal firearms license. Everybody, you have to get a license for every gun you purchase. And we were talking about it, and I was thinking about it, and I finally told him, I said, look, there's a part of me that really wishes that they would do something like that they would implement that kind of stuff, so that we could really see what violent non-compliance looks like. There's a part of me that understands that may be the only way that these issues are solved. And I hate to be like that, because it means if it comes to that, it means that everything that our founding fathers tried to create has failed.
Well, or it's coming close.
But
we're on the verge.
Not a but. No, but's not the wrong word. Or but's not the right word.
But see, do you see people willing to pay the same price that was paid back then to establish it? Do you see the same drive from people to sacrifice enough to hold it? Morning, rice and peas.
How do I say this? Yes, with qualifications. Yes, there are people out there, but the qualification is, are there enough of us, enough of them, and has it gone past the tipping point?
Morning, Matt. Because see, I will say, just being honest, being real, that's the one thing that has been always, for the past couple of years, kind of coming into this and hearing the take, and that's my biggest fear about ignoring so much of this shit that's going on right now, just waiting for the hammer to drop, is like, but wait a minute, who's really going to be standing there when the hammer drops? Because it's easy to kind of get fired up. It's kind of like, you can have a coach in a locker room fire your happy little midget ass on up, and you're wound up and you're bouncing off the walls, and you get out on field and you start running down. But then at some point, reality's going to set on, and all of a sudden them 6'6", 6'7" dudes come running out the other tunnel, and you go, I don't know, was this a good idea or not? And then, maybe half your team quits because they go, hey, man, deuces, I'm out. I wasn't planning on an ass whooping. So that's why I do the local thing. And I try to, because, man, I think through the judicial system and our system that's at play, because if we don't try to put the fire out, I get the want and the need and the desire to just rebuild. But it's like, man, but is the material and the labor going to be there to rebuild? Or are we going to be then sitting there in regret and a pile of ashes going, oh, shit?
Well, I talked about it on the Marine Corps birthday live that I did at the end. Now, I'm not going to lie. I had a couple of good stout runs behind me when I said all that at the end of that stream. But it's something that I honestly believe. We have we have gone past the point. The country that you and I grew up in has ceased to exist, and it is never coming back. People need to wrap their heads around that. The United States that we grew up in does not exist, and it will never exist again.
This changed this. The digital platform changed that. Life will never be the same.
Now, what's still here, and what we still have a hold of is the ideas and the morals and ethics that make America what it is.
Right on.
And I don't care if something happens and every single person in America is living in slavery. You know, as long as one person who's down on their knees and is willing to look up when told not to, and they've got those ideas in their heart, it still exists. And the reason why that's important is because that's how we build, or we become remnants. And I don't know if anybody's familiar, or if everybody's familiar with the idea of the remnants as far as the Christian church goes. You know, whenever they would go in and destroy a church, the remnants of the church would go build another church someplace else. You know, and so we need to. One of the reasons why I do what I do, and I promote the stuff on my channel, is because I want to build as many people up and get them so that they've got these ideas in their heart. So when the time comes, we can come together as a remnant and build something. And it may just, you know, it's not going to occupy the same space as the United States. It may not even be on the same continent, but someplace down the road, America will be rebuilt. It has to be.
See, I don't know, man. I got my doubts because and there was even a North Korea lady. She's come over, and there's been some interviews with her. She kind of cracks me up because she's literally like the China doll kind of look, and she even has the. Okay, so you've seen her some of the interviews with her.
Little on the skinny side.
Yeah, but she was, you know, I forgot who was it. I don't know if it was Tucker that was interviewing her. Somebody was interviewing her and asked her, you know, well, so what do you think about the state of America right now? And she even flat out goes, you know, the one thing is if America falls, then that's freedom all over will fall. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else like this. So, and it's easy. And I thought, you know, actually it's because it's easy to kind of get lost in some of the word game, you know, that some of the other countries have twisted and played on over the decades since we became created, because they had to change. You know, they had to change to play ball. Once World War II kind of went down, we became the dominant, and they had to play ball. So people changed their wording. They didn't necessarily change the back end of things. That's why we still have the Uyghurs over there in China, and they're being done the way they are. So, but they learned how to hide shit. But I think that if we fall, then man, we're gonna, and that's what does worry me, because it's like there's something to be said about the foundation and just that historical worldly change that took place when we like staked that declaration down and went, here's the deal. You know, it's easy to kind of get lost in some rhetoric now and get kind of have that talk down to you. But when you just look at the way the world was operating back then, that was unique shit. You know, I mean, it was a once in a lifetime thing. And I don't know if we would bounce back, because if they go global, because if we collapse, then it'll go global. And once it goes global, then you'll have pockets. And I guess you'll learn to do that survival lifestyle in little pockets here and there, but there'll never be another America, because I like that girl said, that there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. I just posted the link to that talk that, Barry Weiss did at the Sarah Olson, or at the Olson dinner the other day, the We Are the Last Line of Defense. If you guys, seriously, it's about 38 minutes long. And if you guys haven't looked at it yet and listened to it, go listen to it. Listen to it its entirety. There's a lot of people that don't like Israel that will turn it off immediately because she starts talking about Israel, but it goes way beyond what's happening in the Middle East right now. She talks specifically about what's happening here in America and how important it is for us to understand what's going on. you know, and it's not an echo chamber. You know, she went. It's the Federalist Society is where she's talking, and she is a gay Jewish woman who is a liberal, and so it's not, you know, she's not speaking to her friends, and she's not speaking to people that hold the same values as her, but what she says is spot on. And if you listen to it and it doesn't cause you to stop and reflect for a moment, then you really need to reconsider how you feel about your future. Seriously, you know. And I hate to sound dramatic about it, but it's the message is that good. Oh, it's Saturday. Sophia's got to take a shower.
Oh, thought she'd already knocked that out.
Usually it's on Saturday night before you go out, or Sunday morning before you go to church, right? You get that one bath a week.
It's Saturday, damn it.
Dude, my aunt was telling me, so my dad's family's from Kansas City, and they lived in Kansas City, Kansas. They lived in the city. And she was telling me that when they were kids, they had this big stove in the living room, but it sat out from the wall like 4 feet. You know, it was like in a corner. So you had that area behind it. And she said in the wintertime, they got one bath every 3 or 4 days, and they would take the big wash tub and stick it behind the stove and get the water hot on the stove and then pour it in that tub. And the kids would there were 6 of them. And the kids would take turns taking baths in that tub behind the stove.
I could see it. Totally see it.
No. That was one of those things. Talking with All American Prepper, you know, he takes a bath in a kiddie swimming pool in his front yard. That's his. Of course, he lives down in Florida, so. You know, it never really gets cold enough that you can't do that.
Well, that's a little extreme. I mean, there was a time when me and her, we took showers out during the winter. I actually used to stand on a pallet and then had one of the shower rings. I just built like a little shower, and you'd literally shake as you'd go out the front door and go down because we were remodeling the bathroom. So I was like, well, then it's going to happen outside. So, but still had to go to work during the day. So every day, we go out there. But then you take the hot shower, and then you're like, oh, of course, steam's coming all off and kind of. But I got to say, to choose to go out and, you know, hey, I'm just going to go take it in the kiddie pool. It's a little extreme under the circumstances. I mean,
well,
hey man, I'll take a damn bath in the creek if it's down to those options.
Like the conversation we had, man. How far are you willing to go for your freedom? And understanding his situation, it makes perfect sense. You know, but that's the route he decided. That's how extreme he wants to go to be free. You know.
See, that's just. I guess I don't. And I'm not knocking it. So I don't. YouTube's so funny because if I don't mean nothing by it, but I get the concept, but if you can have a bathtub inside 4 walls, then okay. And so I don't see the connection with the freedom on just taking a bath outside or inside. That like making a stance for freedom. That's it. I'm hanging, washing my junk outside. You know, it's.
Dude, if I lived in a tropical place, you're damn right I'd be outside bathing all the time. I'd have an outdoor shower. I'd have a great big tub that I could fill with hot water and watch the sunset go down. Hell yeah.
You can't do it?
Oh, dude, it's Monty and I are in the same freeze zone, man. He said it was 29 degrees and it feels every bit of it. There's no way in heck I'd be outside taking it.
See, you need to do you one of those. Dude, I watched somebody. There was a lady, and her and her husband, they built an outside hot tub, basically is what they called it, but they did it out of one of the damn galvanized water troughs. Mm-hmm. But they took copper tubing and they just basically made like a still kind of concept. And then they had the hot water, and it would just circulate through that tubing that would warm up that water, and they would just sit in it. He did a little wood frame around it and shit. And I'm thinking, yeah, there you go.
Best one I saw, the guy took an old clawfoot bathtub and put it up on cinder blocks, and then he took a metal plate and welded a ring on top of it and welded chains on each side of it, and he would pull it off to the side, he'd build a fire on it, and then he'd slide it underneath that bathtub, and as soon as it got too hot to sit in it, he'd jump out and yank it out the other side, and so it would cool the water down a little bit, and so that's how he heated the water up.
Hey man, you know what? You could hook that up to like one of them boat trailer winches. You could just could roll that out, sit in it, and just crank away and slide your little trolley out and in and out.
That's a good idea. Well, one of the projects I'm going to do out back, whenever I get to it, I am putting an outdoor shower out there, because I come in and have to traipse through the house and I'm covered with mud. You know, I either got to strip down on the front porch and then walk through the house or whatever. But whenever we get this back part of the house remodeled, I'm going to be able to go up on the deck, take my clothes off, shower off out in the outdoor shower, and then walk into the mud room, throw my stuff into the thing, and then get cleaned up properly in the bathroom.
Hell yeah, there you go. I could dig like an outdoor shower right before the mud room. You know, that old-fashioned mud room.
Yep.
You have a little mud room, and then go from there. It's almost be like a decontamination zone. That's what it probably remind me of.
Absolutely.
Be like, all right, decon, okay, light it up. Go in here. We're gonna strip down. We're gonna pile them up. Go in here. We're gonna shower up. Now we're gonna walk in here. We're gonna get fluffed all up and dressed. Hell yeah, that would work. If I was raising kids again, I think I'd probably come up with it.
It would be better. It'd be better than hosing them off like I used to. My gosh, those poor kids. I mean, even in the summertime, that water coming out of the hose is freezing hot. It's either scalding hot because it's been sitting in the sun all day long, and then it turns really ice cold, or it's just ice cold from the get-go. You know.
All right, bug out. Make it a good day.
Those poor kids would be standing out there shivering with their lips turned blue because it was so cold.
That's whenever I do the chickens, I got to let that hose, I just let the water run to get all the hot rubbery. Plus, I've noticed here, it's got a sheen. So, like if you take that water straight out of the hose that's been sitting there, you know, overnight, and you put that in a thing, and then stop it and look, and it'll create a sheen. And what I'm thinking is it's the rubber in the hose, and it gets in that water. Because after I've been sitting there playing around with it, so I make sure I don't give it to them. But after you let it run and it cools all down, and then it's like, okay, you're getting the underground water now. It's fresh, and then if you put that in, you don't get the sheen.
Right.
So I'm thinking it's the settlement from being in the hose.
I wonder if that sheen is what causes that distinct hose taste you used to get whenever you're drinking out of it when you're a kid.
Yep. Yeah, because you're willing to take a drink, even you just turn the faucet on and take one out. So it wasn't like, let me flush it out.
Yeah. Well, you want to let it run till it got cool, man, because that lukewarm water on a hot summer's day kind of sucks.
Yeah. Try to put your finger over the end to spray it. It's too hot to even do that. You got to let it cool off.
Oh, and I'll bet it was terrible down where you are, man. You guys get some intense sun down there.
Yeah, you try to keep your hoses put in the shade. Otherwise, they become scalding hot, and those nice little brass metal fittings get hot to even grab.
Yep. Well, I probably got about another 10, 15 minutes. It's finally starting to get light here. So
Roger that, yeah.
The furry animals are probably out there moaning because they're starving to death. Those poor starving waifs. Oh my God.
I probably got chickens raising hell.
So the bamboo. The guy came and brush hogged all the bamboo down, and so there were parts where he couldn't get it all because there was like cans and shit sitting out there that I got to take care of. For 2 years, I could not get the animals to go over and eat the bamboo. I had to cut it and take it to them, and I could never figure it out. And last night, I'm standing out on the porch. I let them out, and I took the fence down so they can run basically all over the property and just eat whatever they want. They're right in the bamboo that's left. And I looked at my wife. I said, what the, for 2 years, tears and they wouldn't touch it. So her and the guy that was cutting the bamboo said that as he was going through there were trails and stuff in the bamboo. And I had an inkling that there was a predator or something living in there that was getting the chickens, because the dogs were finding dead chickens. They were not killing them. They were finding dead chickens. And Charlie said that probably the reason why the goats and sheep would not go over by the bamboo was because they could smell those predators in there.
Yep.
So
I believe that.
Now that we're cutting it all down and it's not going to be there, they want to eat it, and it's a good fodder for them. So I gotta figure out how to make a little tiny patch and keep it so that I've got fodder for them. We've got a plan to get rid of the bamboo and make it so it's not here next spring, and turn that. I think we're going to turn that area into a garden and orchard. And then that way where we were planning on putting the orchard, we can fence it off and turn it back into a hayfield.
Hell yeah. There you go. Hey, Widow's Diary. Morning. Yeah, I would like to get some bamboo. I'd actually wish I could do bamboo instead of a fence. Wish I could just take me some sheet metals, put it down like in a groove, and then plant a bunch of bamboo. That way it won't travel too far the other way, but then make it be thick.
If you're going to do bamboo, so there's two types of bamboo. You've got the clumping bamboo and the running bamboo. You want the clumping bamboo. And even then you got to stay on top of it. The running bamboo will send runners out about 4 to 6 inches underneath, and it could pop up 30, 40 yards away from where it is, and it's invasive as all get out. The clumping bamboo is much easier to control. In fact, the guys that run the urban farming guys in Kansas City, they had the idea they were going to do bamboo on their city lot. So they dug a trench and they lined it with about 3 inches of concrete, right? And it's probably 20 yards long by about 5 yards wide. And they put bamboo in there. Well, they got running bamboo. And that running bamboo is so invasive that the concrete cracked, and the runners made their way through the cracks in that trough and were popping up all over their property.
Oh,
so
wow.
You got to be really careful about the type you get.
I watched an old guy, well, and then a lady after that, but this old guy was mainly talking because apparently he's got his yard bordered with it, and he's like apparently he's a bamboo guru or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. California, how they make up titles for shit over there. But he was talking about the trick, and maybe it was the runners that he was talking about, the running kind, but he was talking about if you want to control it, then you dig down about 8 inches, and he said he puts flashing, and it lasts for a good bit, galvanized flashing, but you sink that down, and then because he said runners are only go down about 3 or 4 inches trying to find a spot, so as long as you can block it, then they'll just shoot left and right. Mm-hmm. And I thought about doing that, but then there's the asshole part of me that just thinks about, I really don't care if it scatters over farther away from me direction. That's not my problem.
I'm going to in fact, I'm going over this morning to get a bunch of hedge balls, and I'm going to try propagating them along the fence line, and I'm going to build a living fence out of the hedge. You let the sprouts come up, you get them so they're about a foot apart, and you let them get up about 2 feet tall, then you bend it over and pin it down to the ground, and it'll root down to the ground, so you've got a loop of the hedge, and then it starts growing up like this, and then you take all those growths and bend them over and weave them together, and after 3 or 4 years, you can get a fence that's a living fence that's so thick that pigs can't get through it.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
So it's something I've wanted. I started doing it at the old house before we ended up moving, and they were just starting to sprout. Then I'm gonna go get hedge balls, and I'm gonna make a slurry of that so I can plant that next spring, and then I'm gonna actually order hedge rootstock so I can get a jump start on it and get it started going even a little bit quicker.
Oh, there you go, dude. That'd be badass.
We'll see how it works.
That would be sweet.
Have you ever seen the ones where they make the fence out of apple trees?
Like a living apple tree?
Yes, a live apple tree they take. And so some people will do it on a chain link fence, but I've seen where they take, they get the bamboo garden sticks from the like the Lowe's or wherever the garden shop, and then they make a lattice work, and the tree grows up, and as it's growing up, you bend the limbs, so they
Hey, quick question for you. I think she means the hedge balls that you were talking about. Like, what is that you're talking about when you were doing the hedges?
oh, the ones around here are Osage orange. Is
Osage orange?
Yeah, Osage orange, but it's part of the hedge family. But the apple tree fence, yeah, it's basically topiary. You know how they make the animal shapes out of living trees and stuff. That's called topiary, and it's basically topiary. But they make these temporary lattice work things, and then the apple trees grow and interlace with each other, and they make a fence that grows apples.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Then you have like an apple fence.
Yep. I saw that one time on. It was in a magazine someplace, and I was like, "That is genius. That is just, you know." But again, it goes to taking years to do instead of instant gratification.
So apple tree fence, 20 feet or better. Hedge apples get 5 to 6. I guess that's foot. I was scrolling that because, yeah, I guess a couple people were asking about the hedge fence. I gotta say that sounds badass, especially the way you were describing. I'm going, damn, boy, I could totally see that. I could do that.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't do the apple fence around here because the critters would eat it. Yeah, Lady Smith says ironwood. Use it. You can make the living fence out of iron. That stuff, man. I can't even imagine something trying to get through that.
Hell yeah. Wonder how fast does that grow?
Hedge. You can get a good 3 or 4 foot high fence in 2 or 3 years, because hedge will grow a good 1-2 foot a year.
Okay. Huh. I might start trying to do that then back there.
Yeah. I look into it. You got to know how to do it so you don't kill the plant. But I don't remember what the technique is called, but just naturally, a lot of orchards, they'll take, as the tree grows up. In fact, Billy Bond's got a great video on Permapasture Farms about this. As the tree grows up and the branches go out, you don't want apple tree branches growing like this. You don't want them going up like that, because it's pushing all the energy up into the branches, right? So what they do is, as a branch comes out, they tie a string to it and bend it down so that it grows in this arch like this. So all the energy is going through the thing and then down into the fruit. So you get these apple trees that are 10, 15 foot tall, but all the branches are like this, so that and they get these big, gorgeous apples on them.
Well, I've seen people see them around here now. We've had people take like willow trees or even oak trees, and they'll start growing them up, and they'll like twist them together. And of course, now you can go back and look them and see them 10, 15 years later, and they look cool as shit. They've been over and got swings going off of them. And I never thought about doing that with actually like fruit trees or something. Then you actually kind of got them all right there. Right. Huckleberries sounds like a deer buffet.
Absolutely.
Well, then you get a little meat to go with your apple pie later.
Yeah.
Little back strap with some apple pie dessert.
Oh, speaking of deer, I see one. There's another one out there too. See at least 2 deer out in the field across the road.
Oh, there you go.
That time of year. I may go out today. We've got Festivus for the rest of us this afternoon with the community. But if we get done in time and there's enough daylight, I may go deal with the J6 video release by zeroing some rifles in. Just do that and just Just zero some rifles.
Hell yeah. Later, PA, if you're still here, be safe. Head on swivel.
Lady Smith, the squirrels around here love them. The squirrels and possum and coons love them. I'd never eat one. Only thing they were good for as a kid was throwing them at each other. Find one that's nice and mushy and just bash your buddy with it and it splatters all over him. We used to have walnut and hedge apple fights.
See, that's when kids were tougher because parents didn't whine. So when you got, scraped and bruised, nobody went crying about, oh my God, what did you do to my kid? There wasn't none of that. You just suck it up, Buttercup. Here, let's wash the dirt out of the damn thing. Okay, there, you're good to go. Pat you on the ass, and you went back out to go get some more scrapes and bruises.
Dude, and snowball fights at my buddy's, the guy that lived on the other side of the woods, we'd have to walk through about a mile of woods to get to his place. They had horses and stuff. And snowball fights, you get a snowball and you take it over to the grain bin and roll it in the grain and then hit somebody with that grain-covered snowball. Oh, my God, that hurt. That was painful.
Oh, damn. Didn't have too many snowball fights down here. Had Chinaberry fights. We got Chinaberry trees, and you take them Chinaberries and put them in slingshots.
Oh, man. Are those the little hard red ones?
No, green.
Oh, green ones? Okay. We've got. I think there's some sort of cherry, but you can't eat them because there's so much tannin in them that'll just they're unedible.
Oh yeah, Chinaberry. I don't think Chinaberry trees have any purpose to them other than they just drop Chinaberries that grow more Chinaberry trees.
All right, Rescue Man. This has been. I really enjoyed it. I woke up. I was in a foul mood when I woke up, man. I just was not feeling the day. I'm glad you invited me up, man. It's really got vented a lot of stuff and ready to attack the day now.
There you go. Got to whoop it in the ass, man.
Yep.
You got this.
Well, the damn Angela came to bed and the dogs jumped into the bed at 3 a.m. and so I've been awake since 3 and I didn't get to bed till like 11. So I'm tired.
Okay. You got kicked out of bed.
Yeah. Well, I decided to quit fighting it. Just got to kick the dogs outside. They're out running around with Fancy right now.
Oh, there you go.
So, all right, man.
I'm glad you came up. I appreciate you coming up and hanging out.
It was a good talk. We covered a lot of good ground. I hope everybody in chat that listened to it was able to walk away with something useful, something beneficial, something motivating, inspirational, whatever.
That's it.
We're a reflection of the people we surround ourselves with, and the people in our chats, we pick up the best qualities that they bring, and we should.
Well, it's just I'm a firm believer in, it's garbage in, garbage out. So you want to put some good in and you get good out. It keeps you in that moving forward.
Right. Absolutely, man. All right. You want to go ahead? I'm on the tablet here, so you want to go ahead and kick me out so I don't get lost on the way out of the studio.
Roger that, sir. Appreciate you. Make it a good day.
Care. Go live a lifetime free, guys.
Peace. Just kick Grumpy right out the studio. Just bam, put the boot to him. Man, for the first year, I couldn't even stand to do that. People just had to figure it out. Then I got okay with it. Oh, man. Hey, we could do a little tunage. Coming up on 3 hours. 7:20. Got to go let the chickens out, make some breakfast. Got a birthday party this afternoon. My granddaughter, the older one. Doing good, Widow's Diary. Doing pretty good. It's just try to make the days good days. Kind of know you're going to feel like shit, so you just got to roll with it. The miss just sprained her ankle, so she's been getting better. Has to do this brace. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of time for some biscuits and eggs. Maybe even some sausage. I don't know if there's, I think there's some sausage in there. Don't know. Gonna have to find out. Got eggs. Got biscuits. Well, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully you got your day started good. Got you in a good frame of mind. You enjoyed the conversation. I appreciate you being here. Eimer needs a nap anyway, right? He's gambled out, Lady Smith. Yep, I appreciate y'all. Hey, make it a good day. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all.
I ain't here tomorrow. If the good Lord says it's my time to go, I don't see that morning sunset. There's some things I need for you to know. The truck is yours if you want it. It'll run forever if you treat it right. When you think of me on some back road, that's because I'm right there by your side. Chase your dreams until you catch on. Leave your doubts in a cloud of dust. You can't ever love too big. You can't call your mom too much. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Hope you don't forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow. Don't let life turn bitter. Don't be ashamed to bow your head. Take it easy on the liquor. Remember what it did to your granddad. Yeah, you're gonna get your heart broke, but a couple of tears don't make you weak. You're gonna find that girl God made just for you. Knows what he's doing, wait and see. Chase your dreams until you catch on. Leave your doubts in a cloud of dust. You can't ever love too big. You can't call your mom too much. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Hope you don't forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow. Shotgun in the family, raise your babies by the book, and keep my picture in your wallet, keep your car keys on a hook. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Please don't ever forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow.
Take care, everybody. Make your day a good day. Choice is yours. Appreciate you starting yours with me. Hopefully, you started off with a good start. Peace.